Hello, in this video we are going to be correcting your assignment that you just previously did. All right, so what we're working on is solving equations with variables on both sides. So we can see that we have a 2c on one side and a c on the other. I like to move the smaller one first, and one is smaller. So I'm going to subtract c from both sides. 2c minus 1c is just 1c, minus 5 equals, and these cancel, and we just have 4. So 1c minus 5, because that says a negative 5, we are going to add 5 to both sides. And we know mathematicians don't need that 1 in front of the c, so we're just going to write this as c, and these cancel, and 4 plus 5 is 9. All right, we only had to do the even, so I'm not going to do number 3. Going on to number 4, put my line down here. All right, I have 2x and x. So this x, I'm going to subtract x. I like to move the smaller one first, and they're on opposite sides. So I do opposite operations, and these x's cancel, and you're left with 11. All right, so we have 1x minus 1, the opposite of subtracting 1, is adding 1 to both sides. And we know that we don't have to write the 1x. We're just going to write x. These cancel, and 11 plus 1 is 12. All right, number 6, getting a little bit more complicated because they want us to do the distributive property first. So negative 2 times x is minus 2x. Negative 2 times 3 is a negative 6. And then we have 4x minus 3. All right, so on here, I've got my x's on opposite sides. So I'm going to move the smaller one, and because that says negative 2x, I am going to add 2x to both sides. So on the left, these are going to cancel. So we have negative 6 equals 4x plus 2x is 6x, and we still have this minus 3. All right, I have to move that minus 3 to the other side. So I am going to add 3, minus 3, add 3. So I'm doing the opposite operation. And because this says negative 6 plus 3, we have a negative 3 equals 6x. All right, we have to move that number away from the letter. So I'm going to divide both sides by 6. And now there's a couple different ways you can write this answer. Some of you are going to write just negative 1/2 equals x. Some of you might have negative 0.5 equals x, and some of you might have negative 0.5 equals x. Those are all saying the exact same thing, so it doesn't matter which way that you write your final answer. All right, let's look at number 8 here. We've got a couple distributive properties that we need to do. All right, so this first one, leave the 5 on the outside. 3 times q is 3q. Now be careful here because we have to take a 3 times a negative 4, so we get a negative 12. And 2 times q is 2q, and 2 times 1 is plus 2. Okay, so I did my first step and got my distributive property. Now I am going to combine like terms. I like to get my letters together. So 2q is smaller than 3q, so I am going to subtract 2q. All right, now at the same time here, I'm kind of noticing something that's happening here. I have a 5 and I have a negative 12. Those are just plain old numbers, and they're on the same side of the equal sign. And because they're on the same side of the equal sign, I can take 5 minus 12 is a negative 7, And then 3q minus 2q ends up with 1q. And on this right-hand side, these 2q's cancel, and I'm left with 2. All right, that number that we have to move over here is a -7, and the opposite of a -7 is adding 7. So I'm going to add 7 to both sides. Now this says 1q, and we know mathematicians let us drop that 1, so I'm just going to write q equals, and 2 plus 7 is 9. All right, we just had 2 problems left here. Number 16 and then 22. Whew, I might not have any room. I might need to rewrite that. All right, let's do 16 here first. All right, I've got letters on opposite sides. I like to move the smaller one, and that's a +2. So what I'm going to do is subtract 2b from both sides. So these are going to cancel, and I have -5 equals 8b minus 2b is 6b. All right, now I need to move the numbers away from the b, so I'm going to move the 1 first, and because that says a +1, I am going to subtract 1. Make sure you use your calculator, so -5 minus 1 is a -6. All right, then the number that's in front of my b is a 6. That says 6 times b. So the opposite of times is divide. So -6 divided by 6 is a -1. All right, like I said, I don't have any room down here, so I have to copy this next problem. I'm just going to put number 22 up here in the corner. So I have -17 minus 2x equals 6 minus x. All right, so looks like here, I'm going to do it in green so it's just a little different color. We have x's on opposite sides. We have a -2x and a +x. Remember, I like to move the smaller one. So -2 is smaller, so I am going to add 2x to both sides. So I have -17. These are going to cancel, equals, and I still have the 6, and -1x plus 2x is a +1x. All right, now I need to move that 6 to the other side, and because it is positive, I am going to subtract 6 from both sides. So make sure you use your calculator so you get the right answer. -17 minus 6 is a -23, and 6 minus 6 cancels out, and 1x, remember mathematicians let us write that as just x. So x equals -23. All right, hope this helped you with any questions that you had. Have a good day.